Okay, this is Martin LaMonica. I'm at the Fortune Brainstorm Green Conference in Laguna Niguel, California. And James Hunt from BMW Group is standing next to an electric Mini, which is a hot car these days in the green car world. So, James, can you just run through kind of like the basics of this car? It's all electric, it's not a hybrid, correct?
Absolutely. It's actually a very unique car for that exact fact. It is 100% electric, therefore not a hybrid. And the glory of the car too is that it's really kind of the first of its kind in that it runs solely on battery power. Lithium-ion batteries. The car has 48 modules in the back which replace the rear seat. So it's got a pretty good weight distribution as a result of that. It's got about 300 pounds over the rear wheels, which really helps handling characteristics. And the car actually has a pretty good range too. It can go around 100 miles an hour, or 100 miles per charge, and it actually almost goes 100 miles an hour. It goes 95 miles an hour. It's electronically limited. Okay. But the car in and of itself is great. You take a quick shot of the engine, which...
Yeah, let's do it.
Basically, it looks more like a spaceship than anything else.
Ooh.
In here is our PEU. This is basically the brain of the car, and then beneath is the engine that actually helps propel the machine. There's a 12-volt battery in the car, which is right in there actually, which helps, you know, get the car started and run some of the internal stuff. But the real juice comes from the batteries in the back, which are the lithium-ion modules.
Now
so let's check that out.
So you're sort of sacrificing a back seat here then for...
Yeah, there's no back seat. If you take a look inside, basically we use the back seat area to house all of our battery modules.
Okay, gotcha. And these are lithium-ion batteries. Okay.
And there is a little bit of trunk storage space. You can put a bag or two back here. You can put a bag up here if you'd like. So there is some space that can be utilized to store things.
Right. Now, is this kind of that's a pretty big sacrifice? Is that kind of what you expect to do eventually, or do you think, like, you know, with smaller batteries, you know, it'll change the equation?
That's a good question. Right now, it is a bit of a sacrifice, but you got to realize this is cutting-edge technology in the sense that you're getting 100 miles out of a purely electric car. So as battery technology, especially lithium-ion battery technology, starts to advance, obviously the size will reduce and the distance will increase, hopefully exponentially. And we're hoping that someday it is a realistic long-term energy solution to get us away from fossil fuels. To start, you want to slide it in.
Okay.
And put your foot on the brake.
It is.
Push that little start-stop button next to you. Car's turned on.
Wow.
Now you want to just put the car in reverse.
Rather than forward.
Yeah, rather than D.
Don't drive into a tree. Okay.
Or a concrete post.
Here we go.
And enjoy the drive.
This is my first all-electric driving experience here. Once again, it's silent. Alright, so I'm not going to gun it out of here because there's a Maserati and a Rolls Royce in front of us, but...
Feel free to gun it. They might be intimidated by the power. And the killer exhaust note of our wonderful non-V8 here.
You're right. Here it goes. So it's really quiet. It doesn't feel funny in terms of, I mean, so is this significantly heavier in terms of, you know, with having the battery in the pack and all that?
This car is only 300 pounds heavier than the standard gasoline-powered Mini, and the location of the batteries over the rear wheels actually help handling characteristics because it gives the car better weight distribution.
Oh, that's a bit of a zip there.
Yeah, not too bad for all electric, huh?
Yeah, well, that's pretty...
Car's got some kick.
That definitely has some kick. Now...
straight is your best bet.
Yeah, I'll go straight. Now, one thing I'm noticing here is that it actually seems to kind of, unlike a lot of automatic transmission cars that kind of glide when you take your foot off the gas, this actually seems to slow down a little bit. Is that deliberate, or?
Yes, that is actually regenerative braking. So the car is regenerating battery power as you come off throttle. And if you look at this little gauge right here in the center console, you see how it just dipped below that center hash? That's when the regenerative procedure is actually taking place. And once you accelerate, you'll notice that line goes up as you're losing battery power under acceleration. But when you come off the brake or off the gas pedal,
I'm doing now.
it goes back down,
Yeah.
and you have the regenerative processing kicking in to regenerate battery power.
Okay.
The car is maximizing efficiency basically at all times and using any opportunity it can to charge the battery.
So that's something someone would have to get used to though, right? I mean, because...
It is, but it's a wonderful thing. I mean, it cuts down on your brake pad wear, it increases longevity of the brake pads themselves, but it is something that takes some getting used to, that's for sure.
So I'm going to do another little woohoo! And you know what? The sounds are kind of cool. I mean, it's not like a you know, muscle car kind of, you know, growl, but it's got a kind of a whizzing sound, which is, you know, if you're into the fun driving thing, you can really, you know, you get some satisfaction out of that.
Not only that, but saving your planet. The V8 sounds great, but you're lighting environment on fire basically and spitting it out the back of the car.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's definitely a downside to the V8 roar. Okay, now we're gonna do a U-turn and let's give it one more. Let's floor it this time. Woohoo! Whoa! That was like 0 to 50 and nothing.
Yeah.
But the regenerative braking, yeah, you really. So this is something you need to get used to. In terms of feedback I'd get here is it's going to tell me when when the batteries are charging and when
right there. That's losing charge because you're under acceleration, and when you come off pedal, it then dips down, and that's when you're regenerating.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
And in terms of telling you how much charge you have, you'll find that on your center console right there.
Right.
Yeah. Internally, it's the same as an R56 Mini Cooper. So when you turn the car on, you'll notice that the power meter shoots up. We've got about 50% charge right now, and that's how you figure out and watch how your battery power is doing in terms of getting home or getting to your destination.
So that's right dab in the middle of it.
Yep, so you can't miss it.
Right. And how much time does it take to charge up the battery?
That's a good question. It depends on your wall box unit. In each customer's house, we're going to install a wall box unit, and there are different amperages. You can get a 50 amp wall box, which takes from 0 to 100% about 3 hours. You can get a 32 amp wall box from 0 to 100% is about 5 hours. Or you can use what we call a safety blanket, which is just a cable that you can plug into any normal 12 volt socket at your house, and that's about 20 hours from 0 to 100. But every car that a customer leases comes with the wall box unit installed as part of their lease payment.